My mom told me to never let my little brother cry, so I did exactly what she asked, and he's still scared of me. I was 12 when Liam was born. Mom sat me down the day we brought him home from the hospital and said, "You're the big sister now. If he cries when I'm not around, you fix it immediately." I thought she was just being dramatic. New mom stress, you know? But she wasn't joking. The first time Liam cried while she was in the shower, I let him fuss for maybe a minute before going to check on him. When mom got out, she took my phone for a week. I said immediately, she told me, that means the second he makes a sound. So I started paying attention, really paying attention. If Liam made even the smallest whimper and I didn't stop it within 30 seconds, I'd lose something. Phone, TV, permission to see friends, it all disappeared. Mom kept a timer. She'd hold it up afterward and say, 42 seconds, that's unacceptable. I got faster. I learned his patterns. The specific cry that meant hungry versus tired versus bored. I figured out the exact temperature he liked his bottle, the specific rocking rhythm that calmed him down, which white noise setting worked best. By the time he was 6 months old, I could grab a bottle, warm it to 98 degrees, and have him quiet in under 15 seconds. Mom started leaving me alone with him more. At first it was just while she showered or did laundry. Then it became whole afternoons, then weekends. "See?" she'd say. "You're so good with him. He barely cries anymore." But that wasn't enough for her. When Liam turned 1, she sat me down again. "He shouldn't cry at all when you're watching him. Not even a little. Figure it out." I didn't understand how that was possible. Babies cry, that's what they do. But mom was serious. The punishments got worse. Grounding, no allowance, extra chores that kept me up until midnight on school nights. So I adapted. I stopped waiting for him to cry. I started anticipating everything before it happened. Hungry? I'd feed him before he even reached for his high chair. Tired? I'd have him in his crib before he rubbed his eyes. Bored? I'd rotate his toys every 20 minutes so he never lost interest. I'd watch him constantly. Every tiny shift in his expression, every slight change in his breathing pattern, I caught it all. I became obsessed with reading him, predicting his needs before he even knew he had them. It worked. Liam stopped crying entirely when I was around. Mom praised me constantly. "You're such a natural," she'd say. Better than me, honestly, but something started feeling wrong. By the time Liam was 2, I'd gotten so good at anticipating him that I moved on instinct. He'd glance at a toy across the room and I'd already be handing it to him. He'd start to shift in his chair and I'd be lifting him out before he could squirm. One afternoon, he reached toward the bookshelf and I appeared next to him with the exact book he wanted before his hand even extended fully. He jumped, actually flinched backward. Then he looked at me with this expression I'd never seen before. Wide eyes, tight shoulders, like he was bracing for something. That's when it hit me. I'd been moving so fast, appearing so suddenly, reacting so intensely to his every micro movement that to a toddler, I wasn't his sister anymore. I was something scary. I tried to dial it back, but the damage was done. And honestly, I didn't know how to stop. Mom's rules were so ingrained in me that I couldn't turn off the hypervigilance. Liam started avoiding me. If I entered a room, he'd go quiet and still. He'd stop whatever he was doing and just wait, like he was expecting me to swoop in and correct something. He stopped asking me for things, stopped showing me his drawings, stopped running to me when he got excited about something. By the time he turned 4, he'd started flinching when I got too close. Now he's 7. He barely talks to me. We live in the same house, but he keeps as much distance as possible. If I sit on the couch, he sits on the floor across the room. If I'm in the kitchen, he waits until I leave to get a snack. Last week I heard Liam whisper to Dad in the garage, "I don't like when she's home. She's always right there, watching me. I can't breathe right." Dad didn't answer. I just stood in the hallway listening.